It's now my pleasure to introduce you to Garen and Shari Staglin. The wine you're drinking tonight is not just one of the 20 best wines in America. Garen and Shari feel that the wine that they create is great wine for good work. And the Open Mind for Research Foundation is their passion. They represent all of the great things that we were talking about today. They're on a mission, and Garen is here tonight to share not just his wine, but what he does and what his passion is to help solve problems associated with brain disease and mental illness. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to Garen Staglin.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you very much, Mike. I have the privilege of being here tonight to not only thank the Forbes family for allowing us to be here, to talk to you a little bit about our wine and about the One Mind for Research cause, a very compelling and ambitious cause. Warren talked about take on the tough stuff. We think we're taking on one of the toughest. I'm joined here tonight by my wife, Shari Staglin, who's our CEO of our wine business. We met on a blind date 46 years ago. We've been married for 44. The secret of my success is my two favorite words are yes, dear, and I'm still trying to be worthy. We believe our success in our life is just a beginning, and we've tried to take that philosophy and then help use that success to make the world a better place. We know most all of you are doing that now, and I'm about to tell you about a cause we'd like you to join with us on that we know will make the world a better place when we achieve the goals that we're trying to accomplish. And what is that goal? It's to cure all brain disorders from autism to Alzheimer's in the next decade. So if you talk about a big, hairy, audacious goal, I don't think it gets any bigger. So we're often asked, why do we focus on mental health? Well, we do this because when our son was 18 in 1990, we got that dreaded phone call that said, your son is in a mental health hospital. He's just suffered a psychotic break from schizophrenia, and we don't know what to do with him. We were in France. We said, first of all, this has got to be a wrong number. This can't be our son, the kid who could do no evil and was a rocket scientist in the making. But we decided that we got on a plane immediately. We were fortunate to have the resource to get the right diagnosis, to get him on the right medications. He went back to Dartmouth College, and because of his will and incredible intellect, he graduated on time with honors. On the way of this, isn't that great? And today he's married and is in incredibly good shape. But during those first couple of years, we had to make an important decision as a family. Were we going to run away from this problem and hide it, not talk about it, be embarrassed about it, or were we going to run towards it? We chose that latter case. We ran toward that problem, and we've dedicated ourselves over the last 17 years to be funding cutting-edge research, reduce the stigma associated with these illnesses, and to find a way to define cures for these things on an accelerated fashion. Last year, on May 25th, we launched the One Mind campaign. We picked that day because that day was the day 50 years ago to that same day, John F. Kennedy challenged our country to be the first nation to put a man on the moon and return in the next decade. We chose that because Patrick Kennedy is our co-chairman in this campaign, and we believed that we could go to inner space instead of going to outer space, and this is the next frontier of science. The brain, our science has never been better. The problem is our funding's never been worse, and we're about to go through sequestration and other things that are going to dramatically curtail our ability to fix these problems. Let me give you a couple of facts so I can set the stage for you. So depression is the #1 illness in the world, bar none. That's according to the World Health Organization. 50% of all adult disability is associated with mental illness. Not AIDS, not cancer, not lung disease, not anything else, mental illness. 30,000 people kill themselves every year due to mental illness. That's twice as many people as are victims of homicide, and twice as many people as die in car accidents. Yet we allow that to happen. Worse yet, our soldiers, because of traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress, are now actually killing themselves at a rate higher than their battlefield mortality. If that doesn't make you uncomfortable, I don't know what would. If one of those guys had been on the SEAL Team 6, had been captured by the Taliban, not one of us in the room would have questioned how much is it going to cost, what does it take. We would have gone in there and gotten them. Yet we do not, we only spend as a country for all brain research about $5 billion a year. In our governmental efforts, all private philanthropy and all pharmaceutical philanthropy is about another $3 billion a year. The economic cost, according to Price Waterhouse, of these illnesses is $1 trillion. For all of you running companies, if your R&D budget was $8 billion on a $1 trillion problem, you probably wouldn't be the CEO for very long. This is something we really need to address. Europe's burden is about also $1 trillion, and the incident rate of these illnesses from Copenhagen to Chicago to Beijing is exactly the same. This is a global problem. It needs our attention. So we have organized a very ambitious plan. This is a 10-year plan to fix brain disorders. We got this written by every NIH director, every head of academia in the United States, and with the participation of the pharmaceutical industry. It's a very ambitious plan. I'm happy to share copies of this with any of you that would like to see it. That was step one. And as a result of that, the philanthropy that comes alongside of us leverages all of the NIH money because they're now aligned with us in what it is we need to do to fix this problem. Secondly, we're launching public-private partnerships. You heard about these collaborations. Steve Case talked about this ever-expanding circle of collaboration. Well, we are a demonstration of doing exactly that. We have lined up the pharmaceutical industry and people and governments around the world to help us. The first partnership Pete is leading is on post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury. Our diagnostic abilities in these illnesses is very poor. We are going to make a very big difference in this in a 10,000-person study that will actually crack this problem for us over the next several years. That's going to cost us $50 million. It would cost us way more, except we've got J&J, IBM, General Electric, Pfizer, Lilly, and everybody else working with this because we have an open IP model. We've signed pre-competitive IP agreements. They now believe that the right way of working is not try to hide all this stuff and then potentially develop with a 2% chance of success a drug. They're working with us in a pre-competitive IP sharing agreement so we can accelerate this and do this much faster. We're going to launch another one in multiple sclerosis shortly. In a corollary, we're actually building a large-scale global data portal, which will allow federation of databases and patient data records on a massive scale across the world, not just the United States. Because scientists today are now motivated by this terrible silo that says, hold your data, get your paper published in Nature or Science, get your grant, and then you can now go probably get another grant, and 7 or 8 years later, we'll actually know what didn't work and what did work, and maybe other people can benefit from it. We don't like that model. We would like everybody to know about your mistakes. We want open IP for everybody, and we want this portal to allow us to facilitate and allow that all to happen. And it's something that also we are going to be talking to you, and we'd love to have you help us establish this. Finally, I would say we're going to launch a major public campaign. We talked about celebrities. The cases talked about how important that is. We've been fortunate to get Glenn Close to work with us on reducing the stigma. And on September 19th, with Tom Hanks' help and several others, we're going to try to launch a major celebrity campaign that will actually put the face of mental illness. Anyone who ever played a role as a person with mental illness, Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction, you all remember that scary one, right? But we've got Sally Fields and we've got several other people that are going to be a part of helping us. We'll talk about in vignettes about what it was like to play that role, humanize this, and put this on a public face. Our goal is to begin to raise $500 million from public funding of this through PSAs and other things that we've done. Just to put that in perspective, there is no American Brain Association. There's American Heart, there's American Cancer. which incidentally raises $1 billion a year with the average contribution of $50. All philanthropy in mental health today is probably $100 million a year. If they can do it in cancer, why can't we? Because we've got a higher incident rate than those who suffer from cancer. So, Sherry, Pete, and I hope you will join us in this effort. We think it merits your consideration. We are committed to making it happen. Failure is not an option, although we'll probably make a few mistakes along the way, as Warren has challenged us, but we are going to move this. We're going to move this ball forward. 10-year is a very ambitious goal, but we need to accelerate this. We got to light a fire, and we're going to make it happen. Enjoy the wine. Enjoy the evening. Thank you very much.